You don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. We will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons.
Please accept our assurances that the Iranian side, there is no desire, there is no any intention to produce the nuclear bomb.
Have you heard any signals or seen any messages from intermediaries that Iran wishes to de-escalate the conflict?
Yeah, they'd like to talk, but they should have done that before. They should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
What would it take for the U.S. to get involved in this conflict militarily?
I don't want to talk about that. The deal will be signed, and I think Iran is foolish not to sign one.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003.
Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
Iran has all that it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon. All they need is a decision from the Supreme Leader to do that. And it would take a couple of weeks to complete the production of that weapon, which would of course pose an existential threat, not just to Israel, but to the United States and to the entire world.
I don't want to fight either. I'm not looking to fight. But if it's a choice between fighting and them having a nuclear weapon, you have to do what you have to do.
Remarks made by Donald Trump are completely unwarranted, very hostile. We cannot ignore them. We are vigilant about what Donald Trump is saying. There is a line which, if crossed, there should be a response on our side.
I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks."
I happen to believe that the United States engaging in a war against Iran, a third war in the Middle East since 2001, would be a catastrophic blunder.
And I think Trump's been really clear. Iran's not going to get a nuke, so they can either come to the table and surrender their nuclear program freely, peaceably, as Trump is offering, or they can face Israel on their own.
Prime Minister Netanyahu's decision to preemptively launch a war with Iran against the urging of the president threatens the stability of the entire region and the safety of Americans stationed there. The Trump administration must take urgent steps to prevent a wider war.
If Iran gets a nuclear weapon, I think the odds are unacceptably high that we would find out with a mushroom cloud over New York City or Los Angeles or Tel Aviv and Israel.
I actually really love Trump. I think he's a deeply humane, kind person. And I am saying this because I'm really afraid that my country's going to be further weakened by this. I think we're going to see the end of American empire.
In response to Tucker Carlson criticizing you, saying that you were complicit in the war.
I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen.
I've seen the Tucker Carlson and Senator Ted Cruz interview. It seems like this issue on whether or not the United States should strike is kind of dividing a lot of your supporters.
No, my supporters are for me. My supporters are America first. They make America great again. My supporters don't want to see Iran have a nuclear weapon. Tucker's a nice guy. He called and apologized the other day because he thought he said things that were a little bit too strong, and I appreciated that. And Ted Cruz is a nice guy. I mean, he's been with me for a long time. I'd say once the race was over, he's been with me ever since, right? If they think that it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon, then they should oppose me, but nobody thinks it's okay.
Who is the primary funder of Hamas?
Senator, it is Iran.
Who is the primary sponsor then that provides them with the weapons that they use to attack Israel?
Same answer, ma'am.
And maybe our public is not aware, but 43 Americans lost their lives on October 7th at the hands of Hamas, which is an Iran-backed terrorist organization. So when there is question about whether it's appropriate for America to be engaged in the Middle East in defending Americans, I think there's our answer.
Anyone who is cheerleading the United States into a war with Iran has very quickly forgotten the disasters of the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War. And I would remind the president that he can't take any offensive action against Iran without coming to Congress first. He has no leeway here.
Hear me now. This is not going to stop at some bombing campaigns around Iran's nuclear program. That's just the appetizer, not the entree. Israel is pursuing regime change in Iran. That is the true goal of this campaign. Does America really want to be Israel's dance partner to this siren song again?
Let there be no misunderstanding. That is not just Israel's fight. This fight is for everyone across the world. Iranian missiles can already reach parts of Europe, and soon they could reach the eastern shores of the US. I will not apologize for protecting our people and for confronting evil when others will not.
Mr. President, on Iran, if regime change does happen there, if the regime falls, do you have a plan for what you think would happen?
I have a plan for everything, but we'll see what happens.
Do you think the regime there could fall?
Sure, anything could happen, right? Of that? Sure, that could happen.
ورود آمریکا در این قضیه 100% به ضرر اوست. اونچه که او در این زمینه ضربه خواهد خورد به مراتب بیشتر است از اونچه که ایران ممکنه صدمه بخوره. صدمه آمریکا اگر ورود در این میدان بشه، ورود نظامی در این میدان بکنه، صدمه جبران ناپذیری خواهد بدون تردید.
What do you say to the supreme leader of Iran who says that they will not surrender?
Say good luck. Excellencies, there are moments when the choices before us are not just consequential, they are defining. This is such a moment. The confrontation between Israel and Iran is escalating rapidly with a terrible toll, killing and injuring civilians, devastating homes, neighborhoods, and civilian infrastructure, and attacking nuclear facilities. The world is watching with growing alarm. We are not drifting toward crisis, we are racing toward it. We are not witnessing isolated incidents, we are on course to potential chaos. The expansion of this conflict would ignite a fire that no one can control. We must not let that happen.